The next thing that happened was that the demand on that material grew so much that ultimately I had to come up with a way of dealing with the volume of requests that we were getting, not only nationally in the UK but internationally. So after a sort of thought process with you know, how do I manage this, now I'm back doing the day job, we decided upon actually founding a charity. So I founded the charity called ChildSafe. And ChildSafe has been a registered international charity since 2004. And the charity is based in the UK within the Avon and Somerset Constabulary headquarters. So they give me all the facilities, office suite and a whole range of other things, supporting the work of the charity. And the charity has grown over that time, and we continue to operate not only in the UK but internationally. So I'm travelling around the globe doing lots of work with different organisations, and the aim of the charity is to safeguard and prevent children and young people involved away from home. And that's largely young people that are involved in things like educational, cultural or language trips abroad. However, over the years, I've seen some changes, and the changes that I've seen that probably impact on your area more than most is that when we look at how does a young person get abused, or what makes them a victim, and you've seen some good examples here, largely it's about things like lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence, lack of orientation, lack of cultural awareness. And actually lots of this stuff that was presented to you earlier is directing you to cultural awareness, because it's that lack of understanding, lack of feeling confidence that actually it starts to label you a bit of a victim. Lack of knowing where to go, who to speak to, what to do if this happens or if that happens. Lack of networks, as you've seen. These are all good supporters to help reduce, or at the very least, give potential victims, you know, somewhere to go or know what to do at the right time. Now, what that means is that just because you're 15 and you're a young person doesn't mean to say that you're more likely to be a victim than somebody who's 24, for example. Because actually what I find with offender profiling and speaking to offenders, it's not to do with age. It's not a lot to do with age. It is for some types of paedophiles, it's to do with age because they have preferences around paedophilia behaviour. But in this instance, largely, it's not to do with age. It's about vulnerability. So what makes this person more vulnerable than that person? And that's not about being 15 or about being 24. It's about some of the imagery, some of what you portray around your confidence and your ability. That's the difference. And that's what offenders actually say. So that, again, it reinforces, you know, some of the points that were made earlier about the way that we try and orientate, not only before youngsters come to this country, but when they're here. In my view, it's an ongoing process. You know, we should be starting this well before they come here. And we should be continuing it whilst they're here, because it's a really good, powerful thing. So I've seen that change. Now, what does that mean for the work that I'm doing? What it means is I now work not only with organisations that deal with under 18s, but I'm dealing with lots of organisations who deal with 18 to 25-year-olds or even older in the world youth travel sector. So that could be the au pair industry, the gap year students, the university students, the work experience students. You know, these are older people, but still very vulnerable in some instances. But it's the same information that I'm getting from the early year activity and abuse that can translate for the older group as well. So, I mean, you've just had in Australia, which I'm sure you know about, and I'm sure you probably all contributed to. You've just had a Senate inquiry into international students in Australia and the issues relevant to them. And that's the report that's just recently been published. It's all happened very recently. It's online, so you can see this document online, or I think you can actually send off the copies as well. And there are lots of familiar recommendations in here for me. Lots of, I contributed to this as well, I think slightly after the deadline, but because I didn't know it was going on. But I'm sure you do, I'm sure you know all about it, so you don't need to spend too much time. But if you don't, then clearly that might be something that you want to have a look at when you get a little bit more time, because it is about what you're doing. It's about your business, your activities. And it's a collective document based on over 130, 140 professional witnesses from your area of activity, which have brought together the results in terms of outcomes for recommendations. So you should have a look at that.